Tom telling Ariana that she used to have multiple orgasms, it sticks in my brain. And if I ever think about it randomly, I'm like, oh God, what a creep for real. All right, we're going to get into that today. Oh, hi. If you are not following along, we are covering Vanderpump Rules season 6 over here. The rewatch is worth it. Trust me. Today, I'm going to do episodes 10 and 11. I might even throw 12 in there. Just let's see how much I get out of it. There were quite a few filler episodes. I forgot in the middle of the season, but then it gets crazy. So let's do that now. So this is the dueling birthdays between Ariana and Stassi. Stassi's spooky-themed birthday or murder-themed birthday, it's just weird for an adult. I get she loves murder and stuff, but it becomes like a Halloween party. Sorry, Ariana wins. Ariana wins this one with her kings and queens birthday. It's just such a better theme in general, right? But Stassi and Patrick are now not good. This is what Stassi says. She goes, we were on the phone and I tried to come on to him and he turned me down. So I got angry, said I was going to go find somebody else. So he blocked me. But that doesn't mean we're broken up. Copy that. How the fuck does that work? Amazing. That I know Stassi's mortified by this relationship. By the time the reunion comes, she's already with Beau and is very happy to be done with it. I feel for Stassi because just she looks like a fool for a guy in a low ponytail. Okay, Ariana's Kings and Queens birthday party prep. She takes Billy, Scheana, and Lala to go shopping for costumes. She's very open about her issues with sex because Billy says something, I don't know, they bring up sex yet again. And she's like, I don't do that. And she's open about it. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because Tom will later say that they've been lying about their relationship and not being open. You haven't been open. Okay, that's the issue, sir. I didn't realize Ariana did therapy on camera. I'm not usually a big fan of the therapy on the camera because how deep can you really go knowing it's going to be on national television, international television, really? But she talks about her issues from her ex, that she's got a lot of self-critical body image issues and stuff. Her ex would tell her that she needed to go to the doctor, that there's something wrong with her down there. What the fuck? This is interesting. She didn't have any money and he was paying for stuff and letting her stay there. And so that is why she tolerated a lot of this. And that's so real too. But then I see that she then moves in with Tom so quickly. And then that adds a layer too, because she moves into his apartment. It's because it's so cheap, but you couldn't get me to live in that fucking apartment. Okay. Tell you that right now. But then, so there's still a level of not thinking that she can take care of herself or somewhat relying on a man. This obviously will come back to bite her because turns out later when she was giving him the money to pay for things, she found out she was overpaying. And yeah, so she's needed to kind of like take control of herself and her life for a while. And that's part of this big journey and this big lesson for sure. She, of course, gushes about Tom. Tom is the best and the greatest and all of that. And I really think that part of her blindness to Tom is that she had such a low self-image and a low self-esteem. And that will definitely make you not look at the other person because you're like, I'm probably the issue. It's probably me. I'm guilty of having done that for every relationship I've ever been in, even friendships. Not so much anymore, but I've definitely even done that with friends. Where once I've kind of grown out of it, I'm like, why was I acting like you were the best? So, okay, next is James, Lala, Brittany, and Schwartz go to Lisa's. They're prepping for World Dog Day, but afterwards, Lisa makes Brittany stay back to talk one-on-one. It's only to talk about Jax. It's literally like, so Jax was late and I don't want him at World Dog Day. And Brittany has to like sit there and take it because these are just examples of Brittany having to answer for Jax's bad behavior. He is pulling her down. Tom and Ariana's apartment. It's her birthday. He makes her birthday breakfast. God, this apartment just darks me out. And they have Christmas decorations. Don't they film in the summer? What? But she's like, look, it means a lot to me that you stick around. And Tom, who doesn't get the memo on this is a rough time for Ariana, maybe a difficult topic, he goes, I don't think there's anything wrong with you, but when we first started dating, we had sex like 5 times a week. And when we took a trip, we had sex every day. I mean, I know the newness wears off, but when men start doing the complaining about sex thing all the time and the keeping score and in the beginning, it's, oh, fuck off. Seriously. Kyle's doing that too. I'm doing a rewatch of season 4 Summer House on the Patreon. And Kyle does that to Amanda. Ugh, gross. Ariana says, and I kind of do get that. Like when something's new, you can be kind of playing a part and like it's all sexy and fun. But then you really start like living together and who you really are comes out and that confidence kind of wears off. Confidence is kind of an act, she says. And I get it. And she's like, it's hard to fake it. And he misinterprets that means faking orgasms. So she's like, yeah, it's just hard to fake. Oh, well, you were freaking having multiple orgasms. Okay, that's not what she was actually trying to say. She wasn't saying she's faking sex. She's saying it's hard to fake the confidence, dude. And then she's like, okay, I don't know about that. I know that's true. Okay, if you're going to tell me something I said when I was trying to impress you, oh shit. Tom says that, look, I guess I should own up to the fact that I've been really MIA with the twins, helping the twins, or the triplets. They're triplets. And he's like, I know it turns you off when I'm out all the time. She's like, okay, no, it's about spending time together. If you're spending time with everybody but me, it makes me think that you don't want to hang out with me. Well, that's the exact same fucking fight they were having this last season, or the 2 seasons ago now. Fuck, that was 2 years ago? Holy shit. That's crazy. All right, the witches get ready for Stassi's party, and Katie goes, so Kevin Lee stopped by and apologized. Then they show the apology. This guy, how is this guy not canceled? This fucking guy. He shows up with flowers, and so then I'm sure Katie's like, I just hope that you don't do that to anyone else ever again. And he's like, okay, God, all right. Lisa, he looks at Lisa like, I did what you told me to. I brought some flowers and apologized, even though she should be losing some weight, don't you think? I swear that's the tone he's got. He looks at Lisa like, oh, all right, fine. God, I mean, I did what you told me to. I didn't know she was going to yell at me. So very sincere. Yeah, he really learned a lesson. Jax goes over to Tom and Ariana's. And the more I look at this apartment, I got to tell you, the worse it gets. The door jamb, there's no like molding around the door jamb. It's just ripped off and you could see exposed nails and But while Jax is there, Brittany calls Jax to tell him that Lisa doesn't want him at World Dogs Day. And Jax goes, well, I mean, to be honest, I thought I was doing better. I've been doing Reiki. Okay. Lisa's going to be like, oh, Reiki. He's doing Reiki. Well, clearly it's not helping, bro, because you showed up late and then you acted like a dick and didn't even feel bad. So, and then Jax's confessional proves that he's not doing any better because he's like, people have done a lot worse. All right, I didn't burn the place down. Classic move, toxic guy move. talk about something so extreme to compare it to, like, it's when I talk about this all the time, I know. But when my friend's ex used to go, I'm not digging ditches on the side of the road, or I'm not a fucking meth addict. Okay, those aren't the standards. Those aren't the baselines. All right? No, you didn't burn the place down because that'd be fucking illegal, Jax. But you were late to it. That's the only thing that we can get mad at you for, is that you were late. Like an hour late. All right, the party's underway. The difference between these parties, like the ranch, I'm with Schwartz. That ranch fountain is, the more I really pay attention to it, the more I'm like, yeah, that's just gross. It's like pulsating ranch. Just have ranch out. Just have a thing of ranch. Why do you need a fountain? You know? But Stassi has invited Ariel, the stripper from Katie's Bachelorette. Put a pin in that. Patrick arrives, not in theme at all. And he's a total douche about his trip because he just got back from Amsterdam. And he's talking to Stassi's mom about how, like, oh, he was on the trip. And Stassi's so clearly uncomfortable in her, like, you could just feel this is the worst birthday party. So much pressure is being put on this party. Have we ever seen Stassi have a good birthday party on this show? Every single birthday party of Stassi's ends up in a disaster. And that's actually a fact, I think. Tom and Ariana, they over at their party in their kings and queens outfit, because of course Tom had the best time coming up with his Maleficent fucking headpiece and whatever. But they have a scene where they make up, and I want to puke. It's creepy. But I feel like Ariana thinks this is real. But he's like, I know, I just got to be home with you, giving kisses and making you feel gross. But I think Ariana really is feeling that love, when that is just very sad. I don't think Tom is capable of it. Katie talks to Patrick at the party, and she's like, you guys can't break up anymore. Stassi can't date anybody else. And this fucking guy goes, well, she can fuck another guy, just don't catch feelings. They're like, what? Huh? But then Kristen goes, I don't get them, when she literally shipped them at the beginning of the season. They are the best couple. She was going on and on about it. So then later, though, Katie's like, we'll do what we did for my bachelorette. We'll have a little stripper moment. We'll do a shot off her ass. But Stassi goes into full-blown meltdown spiral. Full meltdown spiral. And she's like, and she leaves the party, and then she's yelling out there, have I ever once wanted to get a lap dance? And then, of course, they flash back to Katie's bachelorette, where she's getting a lap dance. I am so fucking annoyed at how everything turned out. And Kristen goes, you are being a bitch. Stassi goes, tell Patrick I'm leaving. But they're like, Stassi, wait. But then Kristen goes, Katie, I'm not running after her. Fuck it. I'm not running after her. No. And Kristen's confessional, you're 29 years old. Get a grip. Grow up. Just rich coming from Kristen, who will remain a mess for years to this day. The shortage on Ozempic and Wegovy is very real. So if you've been trying to get your hands on some, but it's out everywhere you go, Ro can help. Through Ro, you can access prescription compounded GLP-1s with the same weight loss ingredient as brand name GLP-1s at a fraction of the cost. And it's in stock now. You can see if you qualify from the comfort of your own home. You don't got to go to a doctor's office. Just set up an appointment, and Ro members get support throughout the entire process. You'll have access to a provider. You can ask them any questions. And if you are prescribed the medication, you can get it directly to you in 1 to 4 days. Hello. Go to ro.co/she-speaks. Memberships start at just $99 for your first month. Medication costs are separate. That's ro.co/she-speaks. she speaks. Go to ro.co/safety for black box warning and full safety information. Compounded medication is not required to and does not receive FDA review or approval. Prescription only. A few months ago, I had to quit drinking coffee because it was giving me anxiety. And I said, you don't need to do this to yourself anymore. So I had to quit drinking the coffee. But I do miss my morning alertness drink. And then Mudwater sponsored the pod. So they sent me a box of product. And I'm like, oh, look at me with a healthy alternative now. Mudwater has masala chai, cacao, lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, reishi, cinnamon, turmeric, Himalayan salt. So basically what I'm saying is you're better than people when you drink this. I'm kidding. But there are adaptogens, antioxidants in this, and you don't get a crash. It gives you like sustainable energy as opposed to that coffee high crash. And in the afternoon when you need a little pick-me-up, this won't keep you up until 2 a.m. contemplating all of your life's choices because you drank that coffee at 3 p.m. And every single ingredient in here is 100% USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher with no sugar or sweeteners. You can mix it in a hot drink, put some hot water, maybe some hot milk, but you can also throw a scoop in a smoothie because there's so many benefits to this. I don't see why you wouldn't want that. Turmeric alone is a known superfood. So give Mudwater a shot and save big because our listeners get up to 43% off your entire order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother with our exclusive link. Head to mudwtr.com/she speaks. For a limited time, our listeners get up to 43% off your entire order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother when you use our exclusive link. Head to mudwater.com/she speaks and grab your starter kit. That's up to 43% off your order at mudwtr.com/she speaks. After you purchase, they ask where you heard about them. Please support the show and tell them we sent you. Stay energized and refreshed all summer long with Mudwater because life's too short for anything less than natural, delicious energy. World Dog Day looks hot. I'm looking at all them in the street. I'm like, oh God, this looks miserable. There's a little puppy pageant and Monroe wins and it's fucking cute. Okay, very cute. Monroe's a really cute dog. Katie's like bitching and moaning. She's like, I had to pay the $1,400 bar bill for Stassi after she left, and that's not cool. But then this episode ends and we get the mid-season trailer. And then I was reminded, like, oh God, so much more to come. I want to go, like, I love trailers. I really do. Like, when a trailer comes out, I love the editing. I love a good trailer. So I like watching the trailers of back then, being like, I remember watching this for the first time and being like, I can't wait. You know, the thrill of a trailer? God, I love trailers. Okay, episode 11. Tom, Ariana, and Scheana work at Villa Blanca while Sir gets repaired. Which of course, like, they are flexing. This is kind of a flex. They're like, so sorry, we used to work at Villa Blanca, so we can work there now. But they've planned the Big Bear trip to Rob's house in Big Bear, which this bitch talks about this house like it is stunning. Okay, well, we'll talk about what the house really was because he can relax. Scheana, which is funny. By the way, Lisa's there on the floor and technically Sheena's working, but instead she's cool. She just pulls her phone out and she's like, oh, Jax is texting me. And Lisa's just like, cool. In any other world, I'd be like, put your phone away. You're not supposed to have your phone on the floor. But Jax is texting about psycho things. Like, she's reading it all out and he's like, I'm not going to go if the beds are small. I'm too old for this. And I'm not going to go if this is going to happen. And I'm not going to do that, whatever. But Sheena's like, you know what though? This is mine and Rob's place. We've been going to the Big Bear place for 11 years minus the 6. So that doesn't count as 11 years. So 5 before Shay, girl. This isn't editing, okay, Scheana? You cannot blame this on editing. No. Next, Katie, Brittany, and Kristen are bedazzling scooters. And then Stassi comes in. She is funny. She immediately starts crying and she apologizes and says, I thought that maybe it would make me not eat and I would get skinny, but it made me binge eat. I relate to that very much. Very, very much. Katie's just like, it's not the end of the world, just bedazzle. And so they bedazzle. And listen, I want these scooters. Where did they procure these scooters? I don't need the bedazzling, but I just need this. They look fun. Cruising around WeHo, let's go. That looked like a good time. All right, now it's time to go to Big Bear, and Jax's confessional is this. I'm going to channel my inner Chelsea. I wish I could just have her chained to me. Okay, Jax. Hilarious. Okay. You are crazy. Sir, you are crazy. Oh, it's so funny. I'm just gonna have Chelsea chained to me. He knows that that's gonna make Brittany insecure. It's like he knows saying this shit is shitty. Anyway, Lala talks to Brittany before they go, or she's like, I'm really worried about James because, when he has one drink. And Brittany goes, I think he's in love with you. Why else would he be attacking your relationship? Well, I would like to give some justice to James, because James had to stuff this and act like Randall wasn't the biggest creep in Hollywood because Lala had everyone else convinced he, was rich basically and could get them all in private jets. So James became like the bad guy when Randall was the worst. Why else is he attacking your relationship? Because he's a fucking creep. That's why. So justice for James. He took so much shit for this for years. And even when it all came out, she never was like, James, you were right. I gave you so much shit, made you apologize to him. Anyway, Rob's cabin. Let's talk about Rob's cabin, guys. I'm sorry. No. The bedding, it needs a full remodel before you're about to impress me and make me think I got to do all this extra special shit. The bedding is horrible in every room. Every room looks like, I'm sorry. No, Scheana, no. But this is how Scheana introduces it. This is his happy home, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Sure. Every room, I'm like, I'm not sleeping here. Every room they go into, I'm like, nope, not happening. On the way up, why the fuck did Tom buy a knife? He's already cut his hand with it. Who buys knives? Come on. And he can't even use them. James is already drinking Sky vodka from the bottle. So we know, oh God. One time, oh God, real quick story. One time in college, I'd actually come home from college. So I was going to like a house party with my high school friends, but we were all now like college students, like 19 years old. And the last thing I remember is I had a bottle of Sky, some flavored trash vodka. The last thing I remembered was going and chugging it. And you can better believe I puked everywhere that night. Sure did. So Sky vodka from the bottle. Yeah, okay. Lisa and Guillermo are now scrambling to get Sir ready. And I gotta say, I'm shocked that they were able to accomplish what they needed to accomplish in that period of time. That was a massive job. That electrical fire, that alone, like the smell of the burnt everything, like that's not easy to do. And then they had to basically remodel the place, which it needed, to be honest. And that was sort of fun for everyone. I get to come back like, ooh, look at this. But that was not a cheap thing to fix. I'm sure someone was saying that there was a theory that she was hoping to burn the place down for the insurance money. Because it was an electrical fire, I can promise that wasn't intentional. Because the amount of money they had to spend to fix the place, the business they lost. Oh yeah, that was a nightmare. And then when you see the electrical box, like I know I talked about this last time. Like no one gives a shit about the electrical box, even when the electrician comes in to fix the problem and they're like, you need to really redo this whole thing. Okay, yeah. Just get us through. So I'm impressed that they did it. Back up in Big Bear, Rob is fixing the boat and Scheana starts her Rob gushing. It's crazy. It was so sexy this morning. He hooked up the hitch to my car in like 2 seconds. And then today he's flipping the belt and twisting the engine. Ugh. He hung a TV on the wall in under 7 minutes. I timed him. I'm with a man who knows how to do everything. They're like, shut the fuck up. Rachel thanks Brittany for inviting James so that she could come. And then Lala is like, I need you to have my back with your man because he says shit to me that's crazy. And I need you to stand up for me. And Rachel's actually like, okay, I will. But then she goes to talk to James like one-on-one. And he's like, I'm sorry, I can't be supportive of something that's rotten. And he's being forced to look like the bad guy and having all these moments where he's supposed to like vindicate Randall and be like, no, he's a good guy, but come on. But James is now drunk and being weird. Some of the girls are cooking and he's like standing in the middle of the kitchen, getting in Lala's face, like, Lala, like in her face. Ugh. So they sit for dinner. They are crammed around this table. This vacation is trash. Okay, they are crammed on this tiny little table. They cheers to Tom and James goes, looks to me like the Toms are trying to do a little business and it looks like Jax is left behind working at Sir. And then he's just like, I'm drunk, so I forgot what I just said. That is savage. They're like, no, that's not what's happening. James then switches into over-the-top Lala affection while Rachel just like watches the whole thing and he's like all over her. And then they play a game. Oh my God. They play a game. And it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a never have I ever game. But Rob says he doesn't ever want to go to a swingers party because I like my dick. I like his dick too, Scheana. And I don't want it to fall off. I don't either. Brittany is actually funny because she just laughs out loud because it's so uncomfortable. And she's like, what the fuck is happening? But everyone else is just like kind of silent and trying to pretend like it's not happening. While James and Lala are like all over each other on the couch. There are things happening with like Katie and Stassi. They're going to like a tarot card reader, but I literally, I'm fast forwarding. I don't need to see it. Because James is now off his rocker screaming and yelling. And just being the worst drunk ever. So Jax pulls Tom into a room to be like, what the fuck? What's wrong with this kid? But then he has this whole existential monologue about how you guys can party and wake up and, you know, be running around, but I need like 48 hours. I'm down for the count. And Tom's like, yeah, well, which is such a weird thing to be proud of. Like, you guys can party your fucking asses off and still keep going. I party and I have to stop. It's like, well, then stop partying. Duh. They can hear James screaming from out there, so they pop out to check on them. And James is like telling Lala to shut up. And then Lala tries to tell him like she doesn't like that. And he has no idea she's even talking to her. And then he starts walking outside and then he walks right back in, like forgetting literally what they were talking about. And then he's like, want to give me a hug? Like, he is a fucking disaster. But Brittany, she does try to have Lala's back. And agree and be like, you are coming for her pretty hard. And James switches to Brittany and he goes, oh, do I have to apologize, Brittany, because you're so judgmental? Brittany rightfully is like, me? What? And this is how you know that this is the difference between a Brittany and a Lala, for example. If he had switched like that on Lala, she would have been like, fuck you. But Brittany's like, I think you're hilarious. I think you're great. I just saw you being mean to her. That's the only reason I said anything. And he's like, yeah, whatever. He goes, I know, and everyone's seen your boyfriend do other stuff too. Boom. Now it's Lala and James, and he can't even focus. And they're like, we're going to let you guys talk. And she's trying to say something to him. And he's like looking around, he's giving such ADD 4-year-old right now. And Lala goes, hello, are you even listening? James goes, treat me with some fucking respect if you want some goddamn respect, idiot. And then he just walks out. And then Lala's like, let's have a conversation like friends do. Are we friends or are we not? Nah. James is outside, he's smoking a cig, and Rachel tells him, like, listen, stop cutting her off. And James is like, okay, yeah, I'll apologize. But then Rachel goes, this conversation is actually more about you being touchy-feely on the couch, and it's making me uncomfortable. And James goes, okay, yeah, can you actually just go get Lala so I can apologize? And she's like, okay. Okay. Okay, guys. No one ever said James was good to Rachel. Okay, period. Meanwhile, though, Scheana's inside telling them they all need to stop being so loud because Rob has to get up early to drive the boat tomorrow. And so they all decide to go to bed because they're scared to wake up Rob. But James and Lala talk outside so loud. It's stressing me out so much because I'm like, Scheana is going to freak out, you guys. Scheana is going to lose it. But also, what the fuck was Rob thinking? Rob's like, Rob thought he wanted to have these people over because he thought it was a way to like show off his home and his boat and whatever. But like, they're going to want to be up. Like, they're going to want to like, come on, dude. And so, but meanwhile, James is outside all loud going, oh, what do I even say? I call him fat. She goes off and then there's crying and it's honestly, it's just stressing me out because all I can think about is Scheana is going to freak out. You guys are being so loud. That's all I care about right now. James says he has a negative view of Rand because he put the person I love in jeopardy. And then the episode's over. None of this even really matters at the end of the day to get accurate because it's just insane that Lala was forcing everyone to pretend that Rand was a good guy. And the problem is coming out of James's mouth, you know, his credibility's so low that you're like, I mean, who knows? James could just be saying shit. So it was an easy sell that like James is just being difficult. James is probably still in love with you. That's why he doesn't like Randall. And then Rand starts inviting everyone on a private plane and they're like, we love Randall. Randall's awesome. And James, what's your problem? And James is like, okay, guys. James is honestly the only real one. He just cannot deliver a message without it seeming like something you want to fight him over, you know? All right, guys, I'm doing the live show on Friday. So if you can't make it in person, I'd love it if you would buy a live streaming ticket and watch the show. Watch Kendrick and me. That's it. All right, guys. Love you. Mean it. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. This show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Emily, and brought to you in partnership with Cloud 10 Media. If you are looking for bonus content, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. To show some support, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Another free way to support the pod, please rate and/or review on whatever platform you listen. It's free, and it helps the algorithm or something. You could also head to buymeacoffee.com/shespeaks and buy me a coffee or two. Make sure you're following me on all social medias. I am She's Speaking with Emily Hanks across all platforms: Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. Thank you guys. See you soon.